Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy.
Welcome to the dark side, everyone, and another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. We are on the alt account in the Grand Arena Championships, Week 2, Round 2, and we are facing a whale, MartyCroatan. With our Week 1 results, it was inevitable that we would be facing against much tougher opponents. So let's dive into it and take a look at the Hotbot report. So as we can see, most of the red is on their side, which gives us a massive disadvantage. Looking closer at the stats, we have been a lot more efficient this season than our opponent. Taking a look at the summary, we are outclassed in every single way. Once again, our opponent has most of the red on their side. They have 5 Relic 7s to our 0, and 7 Relic 5s to our 1. Looking at the meta report, I do have JKR, and he does not, but he has a Relic 7 gas. In ships, neither of us have any of the meta fleets, but I do have the advantage with Houndstooth. Let's take a look into the opponent's roster. As we can see, his squad arena team is quite strong, all Relic 7. An extreme amount of G13s for this GP level. There we can see all those Relic 7s and Relic 5s. Based on the fact that this account was started around the same time as my ult, you can definitely tell somebody's been using their credit card. What I like to do just before every matchup is just take a quick reminder on the speed. This is always very helpful in going into battles within the Grand Arena, because you don't want to go into a battle and there's some hidden character that you didn't look at and it's got a higher speed than you thought of. This definitely can help a lot for those players that are just jumping into battles thinking, oh, this counter is going to work. But the counter is only going to work if you foster. Another handy thing is using SWGOH.gg. You can look at your opponent's GAC history and you can tell basically what they use. Sometimes there's a pattern, which makes it a lot easier to determine what's going to happen in the battle. Our opponent likes to go very heavy on offense. Next we'll take a quick look at his fleets. The ships, he's pretty much only got one really solid team when it comes to his fleets. And other than that, nothing here is too threatening. Although he does have a lot of higher GP ships, it still won't be that great without the synergy. So let's get into it and see what's going on. As expected, we were full cleared, but we knew this going in, as our opponent does go heavy offense, so we set an average defense just so that we could have a little bit more firepower for when it comes to his defense. After overlooking the squads, we can see that it's not a terrible defense, but it is definitely above average. Again, at this GP level. So for the first one, we are going to take in Galactic Republic squad with an undersized, just for that extra banner, just to take out his strongest defense with our strongest offense. Because generally in the back, our opponent likes to set trash. When facing a Separatist team, I highly recommend do not try and lowball it. This lineup for the Separatists is designed to get defensive holds against weaker teams. So taking in a stronger team will definitely get you that clear. So we take out Dooku first so that we don't get any stuns or ability blocks or even counter attacks. Next, what we want to do is we want to take out Asajj. Asajj is going to remove all our buffs, which with the Galactic Republic they rely on protection up to do all their damage. Now that Jango has come out of his damage immunity, we can either try to get rid of him, or we have to get rid of Magnagard because he's just continually taunting, which is actually quite a nuisance. We also need to get rid of his one revive that is built into his kit. At this point, we're not paying our taxes as much as we should be. To be honest, it is pretty hard to concentrate and try to do well against an opponent that you know is outmatching you in almost every single way. My only hope is actually getting some decent banners on fleet. So yeah, getting back to the battle, Magnagard is finally on its way out. and Anakin is on death's door. We desperately need to get some health and protection back up, try and save those banners where we can, and using Anakin's second ability will give bonus protection and health, and the same with Ahsoka. So I guess that finishes it up. Not the best banners, would have liked more, but it is what it is. Let's get into the next battle. So we are going to take on the bugs, the Geonosians. We're going to go with the standard beta counter. At this GP level, this is pretty much the only thing we can do. The Sith Triumvirate is not at the right level to be able to use yet, and is not our priority at the moment because we are focusing on getting gas. Moving on, we have the Geonosian battle. We want to start off with the Force Crush with Vader because of Palpatine's lead. Land dots, you get your bonus turn. Then we take Merciless. We're going to damage as many as we can to lower the health pool, and we are going to cull the GBA. Once GBA is gone, the hive mind you need disappears and becomes easy pickings from there. The key to using Vader is to take note that he gains bonus turns from getting a kill using Cold Blade, or if it's a Palpatine lead and he gets dots on the enemy from Force Crush, he will get a bonus turn as well. So using those will give you a multitude of turns if you can use them correctly and time them well enough. Damn it, Thrawn just lost us a banner. So much for the master of tactics and strategy, eh? In this battle we left Spy for last, purely on the fact that we were able to control the fight. Usually you want to take out Spy a lot sooner, but in this case it is circumstantial, like with any other fight, so we chose to take him out at the end. Now the next team we're going to take on will be the Night Sisters. There are many counters to the Night Sister team, and Bounty Hunters would work here, but I have very little confidence in my Bounty Hunters when it comes to the Night Sisters, so I've lost a few battles because of them, so I'm a little bit hesitant to use it. But something I have noticed that is quite consistent is actually using Geonosians, as they have a lot of health and protection recovery, and that completely nullifies Plague. Of course this all depends on their gear level and their modding. As you can see, this isn't a very well geared or well modded Night Sister team. Especially at this GP level, Geonosians are a very solid counter, and we can even undersize. Important to note is that Night Sister Zombie is not gear 11. This means that the other Night Sisters don't have to die twice before they actually die. So now that we know that, we need to get rid of Daka as soon as possible, so that she doesn't consistently revive all her fallen sisters. Of course, at the time of recording, I was completely oblivious to Night Sister Zombie not being gear 11, so I continued to kill the other Night Sisters until I realized, hey, they're actually dying, they're not coming back from zombie. Going back to the battle, we finally take out Daka, and slowly but surely this battle is going to come to an end. Now it's just about getting those banners back up by recovering health and protection. So we're going to try and slow it down quite a bit and take out Zombie a few times, just until we can get GBA to use her ability. There we go, it's done, it's all over. 61 banners, not bad. We will now get to see what's in the back. Usually it's trash, but okay. So it is a first order team. Now a lot of people underestimate this team with the pilots. Pilots are quite fast and will steal banners if you're not careful. So we're going to go to the top zone and we're going to take on the crew team with our bounty hunters. To beat crew you need to inflict healing immunity, so Boba Fett is going to be key for this battle. The same with OG Kylo. Makes it a hell of a lot easier if you can inflict immunity on them, and it'll just make your life so much more simple. Going into the battle, our first two targets that we want to take out is going to be Sith Trooper and Hux. Those two are going to be the main threats in the team. Without them, we stop the TM train. So now in the beginning we're taking on a lot of damage. It is perfectly fine. With bounty hunters we will get a lot of health and protection recovery because of boss lead. Sith Trooper gone, there's going to be a lot less assists and a lot less incoming damage. We now want to just get our contract as soon as possible. Throughout the fight, we need to control OG Kylo. We don't want him to be able to stack up that offense. A lot of the times in the lower divisions, people underestimate the First Order team. I've been caught out myself a few times as well. This is mostly because of how much turn meter they can generate and the high durability built into their kits. The ideal situation to take out the First Order team would be to take out Sith Trooper and Hux and then the First Order officer. Then it's pretty much just wearing down the two Kylos, getting heating immunity on them and then wearing them down to finish off the battle. Because of Bast's lead, using an area of effect ability will give you a lot more health and protection recovery than a basic attack. So when possible, that is the best to do. The main thing that really keeps me entertained in this game is the fact that nothing is always guaranteed. So even if you got a solid counter, sometimes things can go wrong. Like with this battle, things are going a bit hairy. Sometimes we're losing a bit too much health than we would like, but as long as we keep up with our health and protection recovery, we should still be okay. And there we go. Now that Hux is gone, things are going to be a lot easier. We can take out the First Order officer, and then we can start taking down the Kylos without any issues. And in so doing, we can still get our health and protection recovery going, so we can try and get as many banners as possible. Although I'm not very confident that we're going to be able to win, but we will still try. I mean, facing a player that has so many characters that can have solo potential, it's going to be very difficult to beat our opponent's score of 1,580 banners. And OG Kylo sniping banners at the end, gotta love it. Oh well, 56, not too terrible, but we definitely needed those banners. Okay, so let's go down and take out this last team and then move on to ships. So we're going to use our Jedi against this. 3-man should be okay, but our Jolie is really undergeared. Unfortunately, I don't have gear to spare at the moment because I am focusing all my resources on unlocking General Anakin Skywalker. But let's get back into the battle. So we want to mainly focus Executioner here, but we want to also get rid of the pilots. Now with the opening move from JKR, we can mark and take down one of the pilots from the beginning, which will reduce incoming damage. So that is a good thing. But we now have to get out Executioner, because our Jolie is quite a risk for our banners. We are mostly relying on Yoda, who is a G13, to deal most damage as quickly as possible, and JKR's lead to gain 20% protection when attacking out of turn. So a lot of these attacks are going to be out of turn to hopefully get as many banners as possible. But it doesn't always work out as planned, unfortunately. Still not a bad score, but we definitely needed more banners. Way better than 56, but it should have been higher. We need to put in some work into our Jolie, but like I said, we just don't have the resources right now. Looking at the ships, it is a pretty decent fleet. Definitely wasn't expecting him to put his strongest fleet on defense, but we will mirror match with our endurance, and because we have Houndstooth, we should be at a better standing. We are going to take in full reinforcements here, although trying to decide which reinforcement to take in for the best banners was something I was trying to think of at the time. And we end up going with Jedi Consular, because when he comes in, you get protection recovery, and his second ability, you gain bonus protection. So that should protect us and get us some more banners. Now the fleet battles are pretty tedious. I know a lot of people don't like them. I sometimes enjoy them, but you know, there are those times where you just wanted the lead to ships from the game. Heading back into the battle, the name of the capital ship, Endurance, is pretty much the name of the game when it comes to these two fleets. It will try to endure. So the key to winning is taking out the attackers. The main attackers in the Galactic Republic would be Ahsoka and Anakin. As you can see, we just took out Anakin. So we are at a very good point. Our Anakin is dangerously low, but we're going to try our best to save him and try and pick off Ahsoka. But with Ahsoka, if you inflict debuffs, she's going to use her third ability, and she's just going to cleanse it and gain bonus protection, and just like what happened now, she will gain retribution. So we're going to try and hit her as smartly as possible. And here we bring in Plo Koon to just recover some health and protection, get back some banners. The nice thing about Plo Koon as well is that he's very underestimated. His basic attack actually deals quite a bit of damage. And also, he can dish out taunt, which can really save you in a battle, especially one like this, where your main damage dealer is on the edge and you need to save him as quick as possible. So giving the taunt to Houndstooth, or Houndstooth giving his own taunt, really does help. Giving out taunt this way also gives the units bonus protection, which is also going to help you a lot with the tank. You want a tank to be as durable as possible. So they just brought in their own reinforcement. And now with our next reinforcement, we are going to bring in Ahsoka. Now a lot of people forget that in her kit, when she comes in and dispels debuffs, for each buff that she dispelled, she will gain 20% max health, which makes her really tanky. Now at this point it's all about just finishing them off. Of course, with endurance as the capital ship, it's going to drag on a bit, but at this point we definitely know that we have taken the ship battle. We're going to try our best to recover some banners and see what the end result is. Maxing out Endurance's ultimate is really quite handy, especially with a capital ship that doesn't deal much damage. That retribution that comes with the maxed out ultimate helps you finish off the fights a lot quicker, so each time you're getting hit, you're hitting back. And finally, we get to the end of the fleet battle. What is our 62? Okay, it's not terrible, but we definitely needed more. And unfortunately we did lose, was expected, but a lot closer than we thought. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you enjoyed and would like to see some more. Peace!